It is always great catching up with my next guest, Darrick Minner, who's back in action against Damon Jackson, UFC Fight Night, June 4th. Darrick, how's it going, man?
It's going good, man. Just at home with the fam. How are you?
Doing well. Big news this week. You just had another baby. Congrats, man. How awesome was that to have this big moment leading into fight week?
Man, I thought it was going to be a little more stressful than what it actually was. She went into labor late Sunday night, had her Monday morning, and then everything was healthy. We were in and out in like 27 hours. I was able to make training and everything Tuesday night, and then just back to the regular schedule. I'm just doing this week at home instead of down in Kansas City, and then next Monday I'll be right back to it. And yeah, everybody's healthy. Mom's healthy, the baby's healthy, so all is well.
Was this the right amount of time off? Because I'm sure you probably didn't want to time it around when the baby was born, or at least you didn't want to, have a fight. Like let's say you got UFC 274. Probably not good timing for the baby, right?
I would have made it home, so it would have been all right. She wasn't real happy with me fighting. 3-4 weeks after. But what do? You gotta keep grinding, and it works out. She's off on maternity leave and all that stuff. So everything's good, man. At first she was like, "What the heck?" But now I think she's realizing like it's not as bad as what she thought it was gonna be. So.
There you go. That sounds good. Was this the right amount of time off for you though? In between fights, was this kind of when you were looking to get your next one?
Man, I was ready to go right away. Honestly, like we were trying to go. What are we in May? I was trying to go in February, or no, when did I fight? December. Yeah, it was February, March. I was trying to go, but yeah, this is good, man. I like to fight more often than not. So I think it's like that's just my own growing up and how I did. Every other month it was just. Yeah, it's just hard for me to sit for 5 months. It's just different. Yeah. But with the family and stuff, it's good.
Yeah, that's awesome. I actually really like this fight because it's kind of like you guys are kind of like blue collar fighters. And what I mean by that is like you guys didn't have an easy road to get to the UFC. I know he had an initial stint in the UFC, but then he had to work his way back. You, same thing. Like you fought the who's who on the regional scene and then made it there. You must have been pretty familiar with Damon when you took this fight. How familiar were you?
Yeah, man, honestly, I looked at that fight matchup and even watching him fight LFA, when he was fighting in Legacy, I was fighting in RFA. And then when LFA was around, I thought the matchup was going to come at some point, either there, the UFC or, once we got in the UFC, I like the matchup, man. And yeah, man, I'm definitely familiar with him. I feel like he robbed me of my $50,000 when I choked out TJ Laramie and he choked out Mersad. I feel like that was that. So I gotta go get that.
Get your revenge now. There you go. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, I love that. That's cool, man. And style wise, how are you looking at this one? Because obviously both of you are good on the ground. He's good. I mean, you guys are both well rounded, but that's sort of expected in your division as well.
I love the matchup, man. It's the type of fight I like, man. I mean, we're gonna meet in the middle and we're gonna fight, and it's gonna be, we're gonna see how it goes. It's gonna be scrambly. It's gonna be it's going to be a fun fight, man. I really like it. And, yeah, man, it just puts me right back in the mix, as after I get this win. And, yeah, he's coming off 2 wins. I'm coming off 2 losses. Everybody looks at it like, what the heck? But the matchmakers knows what they're doing. They know how great this matchup is, man. On paper, you look at that, you watch us fight. Yeah, it's going to be fun, man. It's a fan favorite fight, I think. So, yeah, I love it, man. I love the matchup.
And imagine for camp, usual sort of thing where you go down and train a bit at Glory, you train back at home. What's camp look like sort of leading into this?
Yeah, man, I'm in Kansas City all week, Monday through Friday. Come home on Saturday, train here on Saturday mornings, just so I'm here at the weekends with the fam, and then go back and do it again. So it's a little different, obviously, like we talked about with the baby. But yeah, but I'm getting my training in, and yeah, I'll get back to Glory on Monday and go from there.
Who have you mainly had a chance to work with this camp? I'm sure the usual cast, Kevin Kroom, those types of guys.
Yeah, man, everybody, down at Glory, we have such a killer room that, I always go through who I'm training with, and I forget probably the main guys, so, we just have such a tough room, man, such a tough room in there. And, yeah, I'm definitely getting the work I need. James leads the way, and he's such a great coach, and yeah, we're definitely gonna be well prepared. So
I guess one kind of bummer, Grant Dawson moving on to a new team, because I'm sure you guys trained a lot together.
Yeah, man. I mean, he did what he needed to do, or what he felt like he needed to do, and so yeah, man. I wish nothing but the best for him, obviously, and yeah, we got work in, but there's 20 other guys in the UFC. There's guys that are built coming up that no one even knows about yet. I mean, the room in there is definitely is awesome.
Good to hear, man. And weight cut, I know, again, when you got the, usually it's like, people think when the woman's pregnant that, she's the one who's not eating well, but sometimes the dads can too. I know I've been guilty of that. Granted, I don't fight, but how's the weight cut going ahead of this one?
Oh, yeah, man. My weight's good. I'm actually yesterday after practice, I was the same as I walked in at fight week at. So
cool.
Last time. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely, the diet's good. Tyler Min, he definitely has me on track always. So I've been working with him since I've been in the UFC, actually since I've been at Glory. James and him are pretty good buddies. So we started working with him right away, and yeah, man, everything's well.
I heard with Tyler, you end up eating more. Is that true? Like you end up eating more meals, yet you're losing weight because you're just eating the right things. Is that true?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely don't eat that much, like when I'm not on the diet, and I saw that difference in the last 2 days, the 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, when we were in the hospital and stuff, that I was like, well, I'm not really hungry, but like, look at this. And like, so then I had to run home and get my meal, what I prepped, but because I forgot it and all that stuff. But yeah, I definitely eat more than what I usually do. That's my problem, is I undereat a lot.
What does he have you eating? I'm just curious. Name me like a meal that you enjoy during camp. I know there's probably not many, but what do you enjoy eating?
Man, for me, as I'm super basic. I don't want to go on his diet, because he just breaks it down in protein, fats, slow carbs, fast carbs, and veggies, and so you just get to pick from what he's on his list. So for me, like, I don't make it complicated. Like Gina, I stay with him and Gina in Kansas City, and she's like doing all these fancy meals and all that, and like making sure it's on the diet. For me, like, I wake up, I eat egg whites, a couple pieces of toast, avocado, and some fruit. And then for lunch, like, I keep it throughout the day. I pretty much eat turkey burger, veggies, same similar stuff to what my breakfast was. I just change the protein. I don't need any more than just keep it basic. That's my thing, is like, I can eat the same stuff over and over again for 8 weeks.
Sure. Kraus will be in your corner. Who else is going to be in the cage with you that night?
Yeah, same guys, James Krause, Dakota Cochran, and my manager, Train. So
love it. How's this fight playing out? I think this has got Fight of the Night written all over it, man. I'm looking forward to it. June 4th. How's this one going down?
I think it's gonna be a Fight of the Night. Either way, I need to get my bonus back from him. So whether it's me choking him, me knocking him out, or us just banging it out and getting a decision win. But I feel like man, I think he's just, he's not going to overlook me, but he's like, oh, too long. He just probably like, oh, I'm so much better because of, I've been submitted a couple of times, but everybody needs to go back and watch how the fights play out that I've been submitted. And he's not, I usually win the first round and a half, 2 rounds. So we're just making sure we're going to stretch it to 3. So.
Fair enough. I actually interviewed him this week. He didn't really mention any of that. He just sort of said, obviously he's confident in what he's going to do. I'll send you the interview after if you want, but he was pretty he just sort of talked about him and his skill set and stuff, but wasn't really anything about your losses. Cause I think people know you're fighting tough guys.
He knows. I think he knows, man. I mean, I just throw that out there, for the fans, because everybody I've seen online 2-0-2, 2-0.
Oh, you can't listen to them though. They don't know what's, you know what I mean? Like,
I just think that's I don't.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Myself, I've been around this game a long longer, because watching that stuff makes me kind of laugh, because I'm like, man, do they not know how great of a matchup this is? Yeah. And so, back to that. Yeah, I know he's not overlooking me in particular. I just know that, like, the fans are overlooking it. He's probably thinking, oh, he's been submitted. That's my game. I'm going to go in there and do that. And he can't submit me, and I'm better on the ground. But, that's the good thing about it. We're going to fight, and we're going to go in there and mix it up, and it's going to be awesome, I think. So,
love it. Remind me, how many more fights do you have left in your contract?
I signed a new one right before Ryan Hall.
Oh, cool. Okay. So this is I guess it would be 2 on the new contract, right? Hall was the last fight, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Ryan Hall was last fight. So this is my second on the new contract. So.
Okay, gotcha. I was going to say the third one's usually the one you got to worry about, because that's usually when, you got to renegotiate win or loss, right? So it's always kind of a key one there. So at least you don't have to worry about that, right?
Yeah. No, you
got enough on your plate right now with 2 kids, right? So.
You always have to worry about everything, man.
For sure.
So
well, I think it's saying that though, not to interrupt you there, but like you're an exciting fighter. Like, I think that's got to give you a little bit more rope than some other guys. You're not going out there and point fighting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's the reason I'm in the UFC, honestly. Like, with the many fights as I've had and all that, I think the reason that I'm in the UFC is because I'm exciting, and like you watch my Contender Series fight, I'm going out there, I'm letting it all hang, and I feel like that's where I'm at with this fight. Is like we're just gonna fight and we're gonna scrap, and it's gonna be one of those things. Plus, I took the fight with Grant on my UFC debut. He was 5 pounds over. I've never said no to a fight. Ryan Hall, nobody wanted to fight him. Stuff like that. So TJ Laramie, I took on 2 weeks' notice or 3 weeks' notice. So I think I got a little couple of brownie points, but you're never safe in this business, and I just got to go and keep my job and keep it in my hands. So.
Yeah, that's honestly one of my biggest gripes when it comes to MMA fans is never looking at the level of opposition. They just look at the loss and then they don't look at who they're fighting or the circumstances. Like that's such a key thing. And like you mentioned there, TJ, I know TJ very well. I've known him since he was 18 fighting the Canadian scene. Very good fighter. Ryan Hall. I mean, how many guys have, fallen prey to Ryan's game plan and stuff? Like it's tough. So the context really matters. I think that's the big thing, like you were kind of saying there. So you just got to ignore those people though,
And then, well, I mean, yeah. And then you look at, even the Elkins fight. I mean, that first round was a 10-8 for sure, and I just, I was exhausted going into that second round, what the circumstances behind it, whatever. But yeah, I mean, yeah. And look what he's still doing. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. I just got to keep it in my hands, go out there and perform any way and just have fun, man. It's just, the cool thing about this fight is I think Damon has like all girls too. I'm pretty
he does
sure.
4 girls. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I have a stepdaughter that's 6 and two daughters. So we're just going to go in there and, girl dad gang stuff.
Exactly. I was going to say the Battle of the Dads coming up here. It's June 4th, UFC Fight Night. Darrick, thanks for doing this, man. I was kind of telling you off air, I got to mention this. Like, I didn't know that you were having a kid like coming so soon. So I was like, I could have postponed this, but you still came through anyways. And I appreciate it. If there's anyone you want to thank, any sponsors, any social media you want to plug, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, man. Actually, I did an interview when my last daughter was born in the hospital with one guy, so that was kind of crazy. But yeah, man, just all Team Minner, man. I got so many people that are behind me, and they've been behind me my whole career, and it's great to know that they're still behind me, rocking it, no matter if we can't walk out in their shorts and all that stuff and stuff like that. So yeah, man, obviously Jordan putting up with me during being 9 months pregnant, having a kid, and me still gonna go fight, So yeah, man, all my team at Glory MMA and Premier Combat Center here back in Omaha, my coaches and everybody like that. So man, I appreciate it.